Okay, I am Leslie Prins. For those of you whom I have yet to meet, some of you on my team I haven't actually met in person, so it's always fun to see your faces, or at least your name, because you're hiding yourself, so I can't see you. I just had the pleasure of rooming with Bethany, actually. So I got to learn all sorts of fun things about her. I'm just kidding. We had so much fun. But Bethany and I are both trainers with LuLaRoe on the Diamond team and had very different starts. So I think Bethany started mostly online and I started mostly in home. And so she has had a lot of success with online sales. And so I've asked her to kind of do a training for us so that we can pick her brain. She can teach us her ways. She's been very successful, and so I've just been really looking forward to her sharing anything that she has for us. So I'll just leave it at that. So Bethany, if you want to unmute yourself, I would ask that you guys, if you could keep yourself muted, and Bethany can decide if she wants to take questions right away or whatever. So I am going to mute myself and take it away.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Bethany. I've been with LuLaRoe a little over a year. I got started July 31st of last year. And I started mostly online right after I placed my initial order. I found out I was pregnant with the little one that you can probably hear screaming in the background. And I had a miscarriage previously, so they considered me high risk and didn't want me lifting. So obviously that kind of takes in-home pop-ups out of the loop unless I had someone to help me. And with our 2-year-old, I didn't feel like paying for a babysitter to have my husband come with us. So I decided to hit the ground running and take off as hardcore as I could with online sales and build my business there. And then after he was born, I gave it a couple of months, and now we're getting back into in-homes. I'm already ready to quit doing them again. So let's see. I won't tell too much of my story because I feel like I go on a tangent with that and then talk forever. So I won't tell too much of my story unless you want to hear it at the end, and we can do it at the end. But let me look at my notes here. The biggest thing that I will say for online sales is be consistent. Your customers, you're basically training them on how you work. We all run our groups kind of similar, but we all have different methods of, how we post our pictures, how we do our parties. So your group of customers, you're going to basically train them on how you run things. And so they'll watch for that consistency. And when you change things, it's not always the easiest. So on the flip side of that, though, you also want to find what works for you, because what works for me won't work for Leslie. And, what works for her might not work for Holly. And, so everyone runs it differently. So definitely in the beginning, give it trial and error and keep trying until you find that sweet spot of what really works for you. And then run with it and just be consistent with it. And that's what I did. I tried posting like just shirts and doing, really hyping up all about the shirts and different ways to wear them and different ways to style them. And then I would only post shirts. And that worked a little bit, but it wasn't the sales that I needed it to be. So then I decided to start doing my online sales a little bit differently than I had seen them done before. Most of the online sales within a VIP group, I had only seen them done just like an online sale, not really hosted or anything. And then if they were hosted, they were in a private group. So I'm like, okay, at this time I was working full time. I was pregnant, so I was always tired. And I just didn't want the extra work of creating a separate group. So I said, okay, I'm going to run my weekly VIP group or shopping group, whatever you call it. I'm going to run those weekly sales with a hostess. I'm going to have her invite her friends into my group. And my group has over 4,000 people in it, and I grew it to that size by doing that. But I will warn, if you are going to do it that way, make sure that you are very strict with your hostesses, that you are letting them know, do not mass add into my group. I won't approve it. And get approval from your friends before you add them to my group. So, if I saw my hostess went in and added 210 people, I would deny them all and tell her, we're not going to do it this way. We're not mass adding. We're not making people mad. I'm not going to get nasty messages from people saying, why am I in your group and why am I getting all these notifications? Not doing it. I'm not messing with it. I don't have time to stress over making people happy who didn't want to be there to begin with. So when I was doing it that way, I would make an event and friend the host on Facebook and make her a co-host. And then I wouldn't share very much, to be honest, because, again, I was working and pregnant and tired and basically losing my mind. I was working like 18 to 20 hours a day, 7 days a week. So I would let my hostess know, like, hey, I'm going to set up the event. I will put in the description a little bit about LuLaRoe, and I'll share maybe 2 times before the party different things about LuLaRoe. I would share one big post with all at that time it was just style pictures. It wasn't, the size charts that we have now. I would just share the style pictures of every style that I carried, and I would add a description of how each style ran size-wise, since the size chart wasn't on there. And then I would share like a how to shop, and that was all that I would share. And I told the hostess that past that, it was up to her to hype up her friends and get them excited for this party. So, post pictures of yourself in LuLaRoe, tell them why you love LuLaRoe, and I would leave it up to there. I had some hostesses that would take that and run with it, and they did really well, and those parties rocked. I had some parties where I would sell, 70, 80 items. My best party when I was doing it that way was 125 items. And I had mistakenly, because I had a few slow weeks, so I told my group, I said, okay, if we get Jess, because that was my hostess, she was my best friend. She still is my best friend. Not was, she is. I said, okay, if we get Jess to 10 free items, I'm going to double it, and I'm going to pick a winner. I'm going to pick a shopper, and that shopper is going to get the free items too. 125 items. I had to give away so much free stuff. But you know what? It was worth it. Built a lot of really good customers from that party. So that kind of takes me into another thing with online shopping. We have so many options, or our customers have so many options for online shopping. Make sure that you are creating the relationships with your hostesses, but you're also creating those relationships with your customers. When they comment sold on an item, respond with, oh, I love that top, or, that's going to look great on you, or, what do you plan to wear this with, or can I help you match this with something? And, just get that little bit of interaction that you would get at an in-home, but get it online so that they feel personally connected to you. And be giving with your customers. If you have a week that you don't have a hostess, make it a mystery hostess, and give back to your customers that shop with you loyally. I have quite a few girls that will tell me that they will only shop with me online, and they only shop with me because of, the relationship that I've built with them, whether they have hosted or not. I still make sure that I try to build that relationship that you would build in home. And, I try to be really giving in my group, and I try to be really giving back to my customers, and make them know that they are appreciated. So I'm trying to think. That is how I did my parties, my online sales. I did them that way up until, just a couple months ago, I think up until August of this year. So I would do my weekly online sale. Sometimes I would have more than one hostess, and I know a lot of people have really good success with the battle of a hostess. Personally, I don't. I think my girls kind of felt like I was pinning them against each other. And so I didn't like that. So I didn't make it a battle of the hostess. If I had more than one hostess, they both got equal rewards. tell people in the checkout form in my group to let me know who your hostess was. But 9 times out of 10, it was just my regular every week shoppers shopping, and they wouldn't claim a hostess because they didn't know either of my hostess. And a lot of people will say, well, don't give your hostess rewards for those people because they didn't work for it, you did. But I always give them rewards for that. Like, because a lot of girls, they will try really hard and their friends and family just aren't into online shopping, or they just aren't into LuLaRoe yet because they just don't know how wonderful it is. So I always gave my gave my hostesses equal rewards. So, say one hostess had, people claim her and that was 10 items, and then the other hostess had someone claim and she only sold 5 items, but then there were 40 items that, weren't claimed. I'd say, okay, this is how much we sold total. I'm going to split it down the middle for the both of you. And everyone was always happy with that. Like, I always let them know what the rewards would have been had I not do that. So they know that I am giving them like some bonus free pieces. And so I did that for a while, but when I reevaluated at the end of this year how I wanted to, or midway through this year, how I wanted to continue doing my online sales, I knew 2 things. I wanted less stress because uploading stresses me out. Like, I'm always stressing. And I wanted to give back more. So I let my customers know that my weekly sales in my VIP group will no longer be hosted and there will no longer be free items given away. But every week that I have my sale every Wednesday night. Every Wednesday night when we have that sale, they know that 10% of 10% of my profit is going to a charity. And we pick a different charity, and I let my group help me pick. I let them give me feedback on what charity they want me to give to. So 10% of my monthly sales from those weekly online VIP group sales. Now, if I do an online, like a private online for a host, that's separate. But my weekly VIP group sales, we raise money for charity. And that has probably gotten the best feedback out of anything I have done. I have gotten so many messages from people just saying that, while they love getting free clothes, they know they love more knowing that what they're shopping with their habit, that they're paying it forward to someone else in their own way. So, if you're having a slow month and, you don't have online hostesses, I always suggest one way to boost your online presence is to do something for charity. I did a mystery leggings party, and this is what kind of threw me into wanting to do my weekly online sales for charity. I did 20 bags in each size, and I just said, okay, you're not going to know your leggings. Obviously, it's a mystery leggings. There will be some surprises in a few bags of each size, and I put a $20 gift card, one in each, one random bag in each size. And then I put some Lula cash, like $5 here and there, and a couple others. I did a couple free shipping coupons. Nothing big, but then I told my ladies that, 10% of the profits from that party were going to go to one of my sorority sisters who was in a really bad spot. I shared a little bit about her story, but not much. And then I said, I'm going to give you another option on top of the leggings. You tell me what bag number you want, and then I'm going to give you the option to purchase an entire mystery outfit. And to do that, you just tell me, okay, you want TC bag number 5, and I want a 2X Irma to go with it, or a, 2X Irma or an extra large perfect tee. Like, give me, tell me what size shirt you want, and I'm going to match it to your leggings. I sold all the leggings, and I would say 75% of them picked a mystery shirt too. Like, they trusted me because they knew that even if they didn't like the outfit, that it was going to help somebody else. And I don't know if like my just my customer base that are really giving back, but they love it. And I love that they love to give to charity. So I know, like, if I'm having a hard time moving solid leggings, do a mystery legging sale. And they never even ask me what's in the bags. They don't even care. Like, I just say, hey, we're going to do a mystery legging sale, and we're going to raise money for the Humane Society. I I did that once, and I had ladies message me. They're like, I don't even need more leggings, but I love dogs, so I'm buying some leggings. So that is one, do something for charity, and 9 times out of 10, it's going to get your group going. So, uploading. I think this is a big thing that everybody hates with online sales. Everybody hates it. I don't know anyone that likes to sit for an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, however long it takes you to sit and upload your pictures into albums on Facebook. So I started doing some research on different options. I researched Boutique 360 because I saw Kim Roylance using it. And then initially I ran straight for Boutique 360 because I saw Kim doing it. And I'm like, she's doing it, I'm doing it. Then I didn't even look into other options. And I got started with Boutique, and I'm like, talking with Robin, which is my sponsor, and, kind of seeing some issues with the program that she saw. I started looking into other options. Using these programs, I will tell you, is not against policy. Boutique 360 and Row With Me anyways. Boutique 360 and Row With Me do not have any portion of them that breaks any of our policies and procedures. Boutique 360 does have quite a few copyright infringement issues. So I guess kind of you need to weigh your options. Boutique 360 is really cheap, but it does have the copyright issues. And I imagine that one way or another, LuLaRoe is probably going to either say, hey, get rid of our stuff and fix it, or they'll try to shut them down. I don't know. I don't know how that'll go. So I started doing research, and I settled on Row With Me. With Row With Me, it saves me time. It is a lot more expensive per month. If you have more than 500 items, it's $30 a month. So, weigh your pros and cons. If you're like me and you're doing 8 to 10 online parties a month, and you get good sales out of your online parties, then that $30 is well paid for. So the Row With Me, other than the word row in the title, has no copyright infringements that I can find. We upload all of our own photos. We create our own albums. Nothing is preloaded for us like it is in Boutique. So I get, if you want to use one of those, just do your research, weigh the pros and cons for you, because what works for me, again, may not work for you. So I don't want to endorse any certain program, but just know that by using those, you're not breaking your policy with LuLaRoe, and LuLaRoe you're not going to get in trouble for doing it. But they are great time savers. And for me, that is my big thing, because online does take a lot of work. I mean, you're taking the pictures, you're either editing them to add the size in, or, I use an app. It's called Consultant Aid. It's only available on iPhone, but when you take your picture, it will automatically add in the size and the style, and then it'll put a watermark with your LuLaRoe, Bethany, Gabriel. It'll add that on there before it saves it to your camera roll. So that's, another option to save time, is to use something like that, so you're not having to change your size sign on your backdrop and change the style, size, and all of that. So definitely look into any options that you can for time savers, because online can be a time suck if you let it be one. And let's see. I feel like I got off on a little bit of a tangent there. And I guess, yeah. So if you're not doing a lot of online sales, obviously paying for a service to upload your pictures, or, to host your pictures that you can post a link for your people to go to, it's probably better just to keep uploading them. But pictures are my next topic. Online sales, you have to have good pictures. That is my biggest pet peeve. And I will tell you, I am a shopaholic. Anyone who knows me knows this. I own so much LuLaRoe that the top of my wish list for our new house is a big closet for me. It's bad. So I shop, and I have shopped with a lot of different people online, And crappy pictures drive me crazy because, you know, you might claim something like I claimed to Julia a few weeks ago that I could have sworn was black, and I got it and it was light gray. But because their pictures weren't well lit, you know, and I just kind of went for it. I'm like, oh, Black Julia, I want it sold. But so invest in some good lighting unless you have a space that has really good natural light that you can take pictures. I do not. My office that I'm in right now, the only window in it opens up to our front porch, which is covered. So there's like 1 hour that the sun will come in the window to where I take my pictures that I can take them with really good natural light. Obviously, it's not feasible to always take my pictures in that 1 hour time frame. So I got light bulbs for my ceiling fan, and they're from Walmart. They're Walmart brand. They're super cheap, but they say natural daylight, and they're like the twisty light bulbs. And they put off a much whiter light than I don't even know if you can tell, but like in our living room back there, we have just the regular light bulbs, and it puts off a really yellow light. The ones in here put off a really bright white light. And I think the ones in there say that they're white light. It's not white. It's super yellow. Like our living room is super yellow all the time. So invest in some good lights. You can get lighting on Amazon. I used to have an umbrella light, and my cat knocked it over and broke it. I'm going to buy another one because I didn't want to buy another one. Or I have seen people use like basically car lights, like, you know, that they use in garages to help light when they're doing work on cars. They're like this big. They're super bright, and they're like $20. So they're cheap, and they're really durable because they're meant to go in a garage. So that's another good option for lighting. You can do, there's so many different options for lighting, and it really depends on how much do you need. Are you working in a basement where there's no light? Are you working in a room that has some light but not enough? You know, because you also don't want to drown out the colors in your stuff. If you get too bright of light, and I ran into that with one set of lights that I bought, it was too much light for what I needed. And then my pictures looked overexposed, basically, for lack of a better term. So really watch, you know, work on your pictures. And that's, again, is trial and error with your pictures. Or, you know, just keep taking them. And right now I have my lights in my fan, and I use my iPhone 7, and the flash is always on. Whether, doesn't matter what time of the day I'm taking the pictures, I have my flash on my phone. And that works out for me light-wise to get good enough pictures. But I have noticed since I found the sweet spot with my pictures, I have stopped getting the question, what color is this? Or, you know, what is that pattern? And you can do, I did pictures for a while where I would take, you know, a full shot of the shirt, and then I would take a really up close of the print. And then I would edit them into a little collage. But that is a time suck that I did not want to keep doing. So I just, you know, I take a full shot, and I make sure that my lighting is good. I used to just take them, my walls in my office are gray. So I'm like, oh, that'll be a fine backdrop. And it was reflecting too much light back. My reds were not coming out right. My pinks were not coming out right. My blues were not coming out right. So I invested in, I don't know if you can see, it's just it's a plastic backdrop. So you can, like, I can just shove it over there and it's fine. But it goes on my floor. It covers my floor with the wood, and then it looks like a brick background, but it's white. I have found that unless you have really good natural light, a white background is the best because it reflects your flash back. So you're not getting a lot of shadows on your clothes, and you're getting more true colors. Now, obviously, it's not possible. It cannot happen that you get perfect colors on your pictures, because you can get perfect colors on your pictures, but then someone might have a really crappy computer, or they might be like me and they have the brightness turned all the way down on their computer because you can't stand a bright computer screen. It hurts my eyes. So when I take my pictures on my phone, they look fabulous, and then I put them on my computer, and it took me a long time to figure this out, and blonde moment, I guess. I'm like, man, they look great on my phone. They look awful on my computer. They looked awful on my computer because my brightness was all the way down. So it was making them look really dark. And, you know, someone might have a really old iPhone or they might have a really old smartphone. And that's going to affect what their pictures look like. So there's no possible way to get the perfect picture that's going to look perfect for everybody, but get the picture to look as perfect on your end as you can. And know that for the majority, it's going to look the way it does for you. But there's no possible way to make it perfect for everybody. So I guess that's kind of my spiel on online. I can open it up to questions.
That was awesome. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
We're going to have a lot of questions, but yeah. I'm going to start. No, I just was thinking of a couple things that I just wanted to quick ask you. Tell us about your weekly schedule. So then you're doing once a week in your VIP group or your closed group. And then, yeah, just explain how many parties or pop-ups you're doing.
Okay, so I do my weekly online sale in my shopping group, VIP, whatever you want to call it. I do those on Wednesday nights. And right now, until the end of the month, so this is my last party that's running, I run them for 24 hours. That's one thing I didn't say. Create that sense of urgency. If you leave your inventory up all the time, they're like, oh, I can come back and shop tomorrow, or I can come back and shop on Friday when I get paid, or, you know, I can shop whenever because it never comes down. I always stress to my customers, my stuff is coming up, it's going down, and when it goes down, other people are going to see it before you get to see it again. So if you see something you like, get it while you can, because there's no guarantee that it's going to be here the next time that I upload everything. So I do those on Wednesday nights. They run for 24 hours. I am going to switch to 12 hours next month and just keep it at 12 hours because 99.9% of my sales are within the first 6 hours of a sale. I might sell like 2 or 3 more items the rest of the 24 hours. But for me, I'm just going to switch it to 12, create a little bit more urgency to shop, and just get it done and over with. Invoice, ship, done. And then I do hosted parties because I have friends all over the place. And especially now that I've built those relationships with my customers, a lot of them have become friends, even though I've never met them in person. So I have those relationships with people that I cannot physically go to their house and host a party. So on Sunday nights, I do a private online. And I put private in quotation marks because since I use Row with me and I don't have to upload, I create an event on my business page, which is a public page. I create the event on there. That way I'm not spamming my friends constantly with, oh, she's having another LuLaRoe online sale. Another LuLaRoe online sale. And you can go to my business page, LuLaRoe, Bethany, Gabriel, and you'll see all my online parties that are scheduled through the end of the year. I set them up as soon as the host schedules, and then that way I add her as a co-host. And then that way, when it gets a little bit closer, she's going to get a reminder, and it doesn't have to be from me because it's going to show up in her events. And I use Post My Party, and I went through and I made a script for my parties, basically. I share about the company, about each style, different ways to style it, how sizing runs, because sizing online can be not a nice word. Sizing online sucks because they can't try it on if they're new to LuLaRoe. So I tried to be as detailed as I could when I created these posts of, you know, different ways to style. You can wear the Cassie as an infinity scarf. You can wear the Cassie with leggings. You can wear, you know, the Amelia. You can wear it backwards. And let's see what else. But I made sure that however I marketed the clothes, I kept it true to the brand. So I didn't say that you can wear the Amelia as a dress. I didn't say that you could wear the Nicole as a halter top. I didn't say that you could wear the Cassie as a shirt. I did say that you could wear the Maxi as a dress, but I said wear the Maxi as a dress with a Sarah or wear the maxi as a dress with a linsey. I tried really hard not to compromise the integrity of the clothes, because if you've ever heard Patrick speak, he will preach that. Like, don't you go to a LuLaRoe training and be wearing that max, or wearing your Irma as a dress or your Irma as a skirt, even though the Irma as a skirt is stinking adorable. But I won't do it, and I won't tell my customers that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is adorable, but I won't do it because no, don't do it. Just don't ever advertise the clothes in a way they weren't meant to be worn.
And, and I think Patrick really touched on that. Not to interrupt you, I'm sorry. Touched on this too in the last training call. And the reason that he says not to do those things, it's not that people can't wear them that way, but they don't flatter every body type and body size. LuLaRoe has really taken a lot of pride in when they decide to produce a fabric, it looks good on an extra, extra small and a 3X. When you compromise that styling, it changes. It changes how it looks. And so that's why they do that. Just throwing that in there.
Yeah. And so I use Post My Party, and as soon as I schedule the event on my business page, I'll go into Post My Party and I will schedule the post to start posting 5 days before the event starts. So I don't even really have to remember that I have an online sale on Sunday. I don't have to go in all this week every day and like, oh, did I post about this or did I post about that? And I do it 5 days prior. Day 1 is all about LuLaRoe and how to shop. Day 2 is about the shirts. Day 2 is about the skirts. Since LuLaRoe started with maxis, I do day 2 all about the skirts. I do day 3 all about the dresses. Day 4 all about the shirts. And then day 5 is a reminder on how to shop. And I do a giveaway for a free pair of leggings. And then like a party check-in. And you'll notice I don't highlight the leggings. I do not post anything about the leggings. Everyone knows about LuLaRoe leggings. They don't need me to highlight and tell them all about LuLaRoe leggings because they know about them. So I don't make a post about them, nothing. Just, you can see the leggings when you see the leggings on my sale. If you have questions about the leggings, then ask. But, so those are my 5 days. I schedule them out. So I have all of my in-home and online parties scheduled through my business page, the events. Have them set up through the end of the year, and then those posts are going to start just 5 days before that party, and people will start getting notifications. I even get a notification when a post goes into that event, since it's posting as a page, not as my personal person profile posting it. So they're getting those notifications and they're seeing them, and I always try to, in each post, kind of get some sort of customer interaction, whether I ask them to share a picture of themselves in that style, or I say, look at the album below and which of the styling is your favorite. Do you like it oversized? Do you like it your regular size? So that way, it asks for customer interaction. You don't always get it. I don't get it very often, but it's there if they want to engage and want to learn more about the brand. So that's it. And I don't think I said that earlier. Don't keep creating events from your personal page, because then it's going to keep showing up in the news feeds of your friends and they're going to get sick of it. So if you do them from your business page, only people who like your business page will get the notifications when you post on that page. And then only people who have been invited to the event will get notifications about the event. So that way you're not like flooding your news feed constantly of your friends, because they'll get tired of it. And then another perk of that, and this is why I put private in parentheses, that is a public page. That is a public event. So anyone who likes your page can see it. I just did a party this past Sunday for a friend of mine, and 5 minutes in, she had earned her first free piece. And I messaged her. I'm like, hey, who's this Shannon lady? And she was like, I don't know a Shannon. I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, I don't know a Shannon. This Shannon girl bought $675 worth of LuLaRoe.
Oh my goodness, that's awesome.
10 minutes later, I don't even remember, Allison was her name. She bought $575 worth of LuLaRoe. My host or I, neither one have any idea who they are, but they had liked my business page and they saw it. They saw the link. They went and they shopped. And when I sent their orders, Shannon got 2 large priority boxes and Allison got a large priority box and a medium priority box because it was the only way I could get all of their stuff to them. So I didn't realize the perk of having them set up from your business page until this party, because I didn't realize that people, that I weren't inviting were joining these events. And so that's another perk of hosting them from your business page.
I've never even thought about that. So that is awesome. Thanks so much for sharing that.
Yeah,
You
can't host albums into events. So if you don't use like Row With Me or Boutique, you can't run it that way because, I guess you could run it that way. You could still set up the event and do everything and then just say, okay, here's the link to join the group to go shop.
Yeah.
But I will say that when I was running it that way in the beginning, when I would do the events and I was like working my butt off to hype it up, and then I would say, join this group to shop, no one would join.
Yeah.
So I felt like that was a lot of wasted time. So that's another perk of Row With Me is that I can hype up the event and then I can just say, click here to shop. Yeah. And it's just like any other direct sales at that point, you're invited to a 31 party and they hype it up and they say, click here to shop.
Yeah.
So that I think customers like it that way rather than having to join another group. Because let's be honest, they're all in 775 LuLaRoe groups. They don't want another one.
I just removed myself from some, actually.
I just removed myself right before leadership. I left 75, and then last night I left another 25.
Wow.
And I'm still in a bunch. I'm still in yours.
I know. You better stay there, too. I need you to shop. I'm just kidding. Baby's got to cruise qualify somehow. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, that doesn't count. Consultant. Well, maybe if it's...
It does if you're paying retail.
Retail, yeah.
I'm paying retail.
What was I going to say? You can get caught, I think, in some of those, not get caught. When you are in some of the other consultants groups, you can fall into that comparison type of thing. So you got to be really careful. And both ways. If you're following or in a group, someone who is wildly successful, that can be a struggle. Also, if you're in a group who has like 100 people, well, that doesn't necessarily mean anything. You could be in a group where they're doing things wrong, and you could learn those things. And so you do need to be careful. So I'll just throw that in there. Let's open it up to some more questions. But while people are thinking, how many pieces of inventory do you have?
A little over 1,000, but
Okay.
I just ordered another 200 last night.
Nice.
And then another TC leggings went up just as I was driving home, and we pulled over and I ordered 66 pairs of TC leggings.
Nice.
There's going to be a crap ton of duplicates, but whatever. I don't care. I have TC leggings because I'm totally out. I have 0. So I'm excited.
That's funny.
Yeah, I posted in my party last night because everyone's like, where's the TC? I'm like, you can buy a gift card and I'll add you to a closed group when I get them and you can get first dibs.
Nice.
So buy them now and then you can pick your print when I get them.
Nice. That's a good idea.
Yeah. I only had one person take me up on it last night, but that doesn't mean that more people won't.
Right.
Once I can post now that, hey, they are coming, I did buy them, more people might take me up on it because last night when I posted, I'm like, I have no idea.
Yeah.
When I'm going to get these bad boys back. Yeah, if anyone has questions, just unmute yourself and ask away. I might not have all the answers, but I'll try. Or you can type them in the chat if you don't want to unmute yourself.
What are your background recommendations? I mean, what do you use for your background? Is it a plastic something, but what is it?
It looks like brick, but it's white.
It looks like what?
Brick.
Okay.
Let me see if I can. I had a paper one, and it got creased and it got ripped. And so the paper ones are great because they're like $5.
Yeah.
This one was $18. Like, woo. But it's
Nice.
You know.
Yep, I had one of those too. Okay.
And then I had it nailed to my wall, but that wasn't working because I needed that wall space for other stuff. So I just bought like a $10 stand that like I can just clip my backdrop to. It's just a photographer's stand. And then that way I can take it down like when I do in-homes, because I do this month, well, November, I'm doing a lot of in-homes at other people's houses. But in December, we're in Ohio and we get nasty weather. If you want to host an in-home, you're coming here because I'm not going out in the snow. I don't do snow. I don't do cold. I shouldn't live here. So that way I can put my backdrop away and it's out of the way for in-homes or open house or when people just come to shop, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm going to mute myself so I don't ask more questions. You guys ask.
You getting to sleep? It's the first time he's fallen asleep without me since I've been home.
If you're trying to unmute yourself, let me know in the chat because I think I can unmute you. It looks like maybe Regina. Are you trying to? Yeah? Okay.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Oh, great. Thank you. I was wondering, I haven't gotten online yet with any of my stuff. We've just been doing home party pop-ups and other things with the events. So I still have to get online and get that started. But even with the pop-up and the events, we cannot advertise those on straight Facebook, can we?
Yeah, you can advertise them from your profile. You just can't advertise sales. So, like, nothing that you advertise can be below MAP pricing. I guess I never really mentioned that with online. Everything
Okay.
listed at MAP. You can't post like $5 off, $10 off, 20% off.
Oh, okay.
No dollar or percent signs off. But like if you're having an event, you can post it anywhere. Like there's no restrictions on
Like
where you advertise that.
Okay. Like what my pop-ups that
Yeah, like so for your in-home pop-ups, I post them. I do the events on my business page. And then I will post in my VIP group, like, hey, anyone in, like tomorrow I'm going to Pomeroy. Anyone in Pomeroy, this is where I'm going to be, come see. Because I tell my hostesses, if you're going to host an in-home and I'm coming to you, it's the public. And 9 times out of 10, they're okay with that because then they get more free stuff. So I advertise.
Oh, okay.
I advertise, and then I advertise on my personal Facebook page too. Like, I advertise all over the place because I want people there. All this stuff, I want people there.
Okay, I didn't know if we were restricted on that or not. I don't want to do anything wrong.
There's really no restriction as long as you're not, advertising a below MAP price.
Oh, no, I'm not, no, okay. All right, great, thank you. Well, that's all I got.
Anybody else have any other questions? I feel like the last time I did an online training, which I told my story then, but it went like 2 hours, so I feel like this is really short.
Sorry, I got distracted there. I had a child invasion. And then a husband invasion.
I'm surprised I haven't had one of those yet, but kids are asleep.
I wrote down these questions. Here's one of the questions I have. Consultant. What? I don't even know what that means. What was I writing?
Well, a lot of people don't let other consultants in their VIP groups.
Yeah.
Like, I tried to join a VIP group a couple weeks ago, and she denied my request and messaged me, and she said, I can tell you're a consultant, you're not coming in. But I want to shop.
Yeah.
So, I just make it a rule, like, any consultants are allowed to be in my VIP group, but the first second that they post that their email is, like, a LuLaRoe email, or they say, oh, I'm a consultant, I have that.
Yeah.
Or, like, they do anything to out themselves that they're a consultant. No, stop it. They're my customers. Don't come in my group and poach them. But I have a lot of consultants in my group.
I do too. And I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, we're the biggest addicts, let's be honest. And if they're paying retail, I don't care.
Right.
Shop all you want. Right. And that was my other rule for consultants. Don't you dare ask me to pay wholesale. Don't even think about it. Because you'll get a big fat no and removed from my group. I've had a couple people not anywhere on our downline. Like, I don't even think they're in Fashion Stars. Mm-hmm. No one on our downline has ever asked, but I've had quite a few ask me, like, no, you're paying retail. I could sell this to a customer for retail. You want it, you're going to pay retail.
Right. Carrie, did you have a question?
No, I came on really late. I totally spaced out the training and got on really late, so I'll have to rewatch this, and then I'm sure I'll have some.
Sounds
if you have any now, we can still answer them.
Yeah, that's true.
I can't think of any. My brain, I'm just like so tired right now. I have no motivation for anything, but my online sale just started too, so I'm listening to my cash register go off, which is nice.
Okay, I'm not even going to lie. Last night was the first time I had my computer unmuted, and I'm like, where is this cash noise coming from?
It's pretty fun.
I don't even know what this is. What is making this noise? But it's wrong with me. Every time someone claims an item, it makes a little cash register noise. I'm like, what is this? It's not my phone. What is making this noise?
Yeah, I like having my computer open when a sale starts, because then I'm just like, yay, I'm selling stuff.
Two things I was going to say, but first let's do, okay, so Dolly has question. It says, did you start out with a lot of people in your group? How did you get people to start hosting? I need to advertise hosting parties online more.
When I started, it is not like it was now. So I did a lot of the add your friends giveaways. Please don't do those now. They are so annoying. Like, customers just get irritated with them now. But, a year ago when there were less than 3,000 consultants and most of those were not even touching online because they didn't want to mess with it, it wasn't such a big deal. But, so when I got my initial inventory, I had over 1,000 in my group. But I had 4 sorority sisters and 2 of my best friends that were LuLaRoe addicts before I ever got my inventory. And they were my biggest advocates. And they grew my group. Now, I will say most of those first 1,000 never shopped. They never have. They're probably still there, but they've never shopped. So that's another reason why I don't like those add your friends for a giveaway. If that person is not joining your group on their terms, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to shop. They're going to either immediately leave the group when they see that they were added for a giveaway, or they're going to just unfollow it. And then they're in it, but they're not seeing anything about it, so they're just going to forget about it. So I don't suggest those. And you can have successful parties with 20 people in your group. It's just all about the quality of the people that are in your group. So don't ever stress about, oh, well, so-and-so has 15,000 people in her group, or, this person has 6 per 1,000. I only have 100. Don't ever stress about that, because that is not an indicator of how well your sales are going to do. I have 4,000 people in my group, but I can almost guarantee you that I could name every customer that's going to shop every week. Like, I might every now and again, get a brand new person, but it is rare. My customers I know almost all of them by name, and it's bad. I know their addresses. Like, I don't even have to use my stamps.com address book anymore. I'm like, oh, this is so-and-so's address. So how did I start getting people to host? I just advertised who wants free LuLaRoe. That's it. That's still to this day, that's pretty much all I say. Who wants free clothes? If you want free clothes, get with me. And they'll PM me and I'll say, okay, do you want in-home or online? And, and then we just go from there. And every once in a while, if I need to fill my calendar, if my calendar is not full, I had to do this a couple months ago. I said, okay, I have 18 open spots for parties from now until the end of the year. If we fill these 18 open spots before the end of the day, I will pick one of the people to get a free Carly. I had those 18 spots filled in less than 10 minutes. Like, it was insane. So offer a little bit of an incentive to book. You can offer incentives, just not dollar and percent off, but you can say, book a party between now, or, just book a party for the month of November online and you'll get an extra free pair of leggings at your party. Or, book an in-home and you'll get a free Carly. I almost always, if I'm advertising to book for in-homes, I up my incentive because they're going to do more work. They're going to clean their house. Most of them are going to cook something. They're going to try to get their friends to come out of their houses. And so I always up my in-home incentive. But my online, I have been booked online through the end of the year for a long time. And I have people message me every day, hey, I want to do an online party. I'm sorry, I'm booked until January, and I know we're getting ready to move, so I'm not booking January and probably until December, mid-December. I'll start booking January. But I just advertise in my VIP group, and sometimes I'll advertise and I get 0 bites. That's fine. Next time I post. And I normally post them during my party because I know the people are in my group and they're looking at it. So they're going to see that post. If you post it like in the middle of the day on a Wednesday, 9 times out of 10 people aren't going to see that post. And it's going to get buried in their newsfeed before they get back on Facebook. So always try to host, do the post about wanting to book pop-ups when people are already active in your group. And I think that's probably the best advice I can give as far as when to advertise for booking parties. Let's see. Megan says, has anyone had sales drop as the number of consultants have gone up? Megan, my sales have consistently gone up and up and up. Now, granted, it's been a long time since I've had a 100-piece party, but that's okay. I don't like shipping 100-piece parties. I don't like invoicing 100-piece parties. I don't like pulling 100-piece parties. So I'm okay with that. Like, it's been a long time, but at the same time, I've worked my schedule so that I can do more parties per week. So I'm okay with the fact that, my parties may only be selling 20 to 30 pieces, but they're selling 20 to 30 pieces 4 times a week. So I'm still getting, I'm still hitting that 100 mark one in a week. I'm not doing it in one party. So it's a lot. My work is spaced out, so it doesn't stress me out so much. But no, my sales have consistently gone up. And when I joined, there were less than 3,000 consultants. It's over 45,000 consultants now. It's insanity. I can't even believe that growth. But yeah, my sales keep going up.
I'm going to piggyback on what she's saying too. I did not start online sales until like 2 or 3 months in. And so like my first month, I started last October. And I think I sold like 8 or 10,000 my first month. And I consistently did decent sales. There were some months that went down, but I think the one thing you can count on is that things are going to change with LuLaRoe. Not your sales, but the way that you do things. So while it may seem like, oh, I used to do a pop-up, I did a pop-up at this place and I sold 70 items. I haven't been able to sell 70 items at a pop-up in a long time. Well, you might have to kind of change the way you're doing things. So a lot of people are doing more live sales now. A lot of people are doing, the business is going up for me too. I'm selling more than I was. But I've had to change the way that I do things. So just know that, especially for some of you who are new, don't look at what everyone was doing a year ago because things have definitely changed. I don't upload to albums anymore either.
The time.
Yeah, it just things change, and that's with any business. So just know you got to kind of roll with the punches. You got to be on the calls. You got to be on the trainings because you get to kind of personalize the way that you do your business too. So things will change, but anyway, that's all. I'm just rambling now.
Yeah, that's I think that's one thing, like, I say be consistent, but that doesn't mean that you always have to do the exact same thing. Being consistent can just be that you do your sales at the same time on the same day every week. But the way you do your sales can change. I have always done, from the beginning, I always did my sales on Thursday nights. Last month, my son was in football. He had games every Thursday, so we moved to Wednesdays. And my sales did take a little bit of a hit for the first 2 or 3 weeks of that until my customers got in the groove that, oh, hey, her parties are on Wednesdays. And now they don't care. They know they're on Wednesdays now, and they got with the program. It took a couple weeks, but they got with the program. Let's see. Dolly posted another question. How do you get people to join your group that actually wanted to buy LuLaRoe? I stressed to my hostesses, or, like when I was hosting my sales in my VIP group, I would stress to my hostesses, get their approval before you add them. They may not know anything about LuLaRoe, and they may just want to join to check it out. That's fine. I've had people that join that have never bought, but they watch, and I see that they comment on things like, oh, that's really cute. Or, they'll ask questions, they'll join my giveaways, and eventually they're going to buy something. They're going to give in and they're going to buy it. Trust me. So even it's not necessarily that they have to join your group because they want to buy LuLaRoe. Just that they're joining your group so that they're interested in LuLaRoe. They'll buy eventually. And I think, little short tangent story. I did the 12 Days of Christmas giveaway last year. Kim Roylance had posted it on Fashion Stars. For the first 12 days of December, you give away one piece every day to somebody. And then on day 13, you give all 12 pieces away to somebody else. And I, at that point, November of last year was my slowest sales month ever. Since I started, that has been my lowest sales month. And I'm like, man, I cannot afford to give away 24 pieces. I cannot afford it, but I'm going to do it. And you know what? My day 12 winner just joined my team. She had never bought LuLaRoe before. She had never, she financially could not afford to shop. And it's taken her a year to, work out the finances, but she's on my team now. And so that's another reason I always say be giving on your group, because you never know whose life you're changing by being giving. If you had the lollipop moment where, I was at a vendor event and a lady tried on a skirt, and then I told her, she asked me the price, and I told her how much it was, and she's like, oh, I just can't afford that right now. So I just told her just to take it. Those are lollipop moments that you can see the benefit right away. You can see their face light up, or you can see them, tear up and say thank you. But if you're giving away to your online group, you don't get to see that reaction, but know that it's still changing their lives. I had a girl win a giveaway last week, and she messaged me and she was like, hey, I know my name was picked, but can you send me a Carly in my mom's size? She's like, my mom really needs to pick me up. So what did I do? I put a Carly in her mom's size, and I put a Carly in her size, and I sent it off. She doesn't have it yet. I just sent it yesterday. So I'm hoping I get a message and, she's excited, but be giving, because you're still making a difference even if you're not doing it in person.
Let's touch on that a little bit too. You have done a lot of online, but you have also built a very large team. So when you first started, did you intend on building a team?
No.
Okay, wait. Everyone who's on my team right now, who's on Marco Polo, knows. Actually, no, maybe I did this on the Facebook Live video. We were talking about colors because I just got my color book. And so
I got mine, I haven't read it yet.
We were laughing. Oh, Bethany and I had fun. We were laughing, and I was like, "Oh, you wait till you meet Bethany. She has a big online business, and she doesn't even like people." It was so
I don't. So I'll tell a little bit of my story. I'm not going to go into like big long how I found LuLaRoe, why I decided to join, all of that story. But it's kind of a running joke with Robin and I don't like people. I don't like face-to-face interaction. I have a face that cannot hide what I'm thinking. Like if they come out of that dressing room and they look awful, my face is, oh, that is no, and I can't stop it. Like I can't do it. So I don't like in-home parties because people know when they come out of that dressing room right away, whether they look good or bad, based on my face. Or if they ask a stupid question, my face is going to be like, what? Did you really just ask me that question? And I can't stop it. It's been that way forever. So I don't like in-home for that reason. I can be bubbly and a people person. I say I hate people, but I love people. I just don't like face-to-face interaction. I would prefer the computer. Like I can type and then
she says that, and yet we had like a lot of fun in California, and we were face-to-face. We were in the same room. You know what I mean? So she says that, but she's kind of lying a little bit.
No, like
she faked it really well. I'm not sure. It could be that way too. Anyway,
no, I love to hang out with people and have fun, but it's when people that I don't know, I don't like it. I am so uncomfortable and I feel awkward and I want to go hide in a corner so that people don't see me.
Y'all have hope. Y'all have hope. You can all do this business.
Yeah. Like if you are the most awkward, backward, introvert person ever, you can make this business work because I did it. Like, and I can sit here and I can do this training because you're all are not looking at me in the same room. Now, if you told me to get up, like this was a Super Saturday training and I was physically talking in front of people, I would freeze and not be able to say anything. I can't do it. I like my computer. It's my happy place. It's why online is my happy place, even though it stresses me out. But like, we'll just put it this way. I love online sales so much that I did one when I was in labor. And I don't mean like when I was like just, early stages of labor. No, I was like laying on the couch, like breathing in between contractions that were 5 minutes apart, trying to get my party uploaded so that I could go to the hospital and have my kid and then finish my party. Like,
so crazy.
Funny story about that too. The nurse that delivered Jackson is now also on my team.
You are like building a team like a crazy person, but I want to ask you about that. So maybe you can share with us, your why, and tell us about how you share that with other people, how you actually are building your team.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That was kind of tangent. I went off on a tangent. That was the original question. I did not want to build a team. I told Robin, I said, I don't want to do it. Don't ask me to do it. I'm not a people person. I'm not a teacher. That is not me. I don't want to do it. Well, then I went to my second in-home party, and Holly, who's on here right now, she's like, hey, I want to do this. I'm like, what? You're kidding me, right? Like, I'm like 3 weeks into this business. I have no idea what I'm doing, right? She's like, I'm going to do this business. I'm like, all right, let's go. Like, we're going to build a team. And
Holly.
Yeah, I did look scared. See, I can't hide it on my face. What I'm thinking in my head comes out on my face, even if it doesn't come out of my mouth. So yeah, that's so then once Holly joined, I like 2 days later got a message from one of my online customers who had bought one pair of leggings. She's not on here, she's at work tonight. Her name's Jessica. She bought one pair of leggings and she's like, I want to do this. I'm like, it's $5,000, right? She's like, yeah, I want to do this. Let's go. I'm like, all right. Again, we're building a team. We're going for it. We're doing it. 2 days after that, I had another girl message me. Her name's Rebecca. She was like, I think she had bought like 1 or 2 things, maybe not anything yet. I can't remember. She didn't buy very much before she's like, hey, I want to do this. I'm like, let's go. We're doing this. And then after that, I had another local girl that I went to high school with. Her name's Erica. She had messaged me and was interested in the business. And at that point, I'm like, I'm in this for the long haul. We're building a team. Let's get to train her. Like, once I had 3, I'm like, let's go. We're getting 10. We're doing trainer, and we're going to fake it until we make it on this leadership thing. And I still feel like I'm faking it until I make it on this whole leadership thing. But, so after I got those first 4, by November of my first year. So from, we'll say mid-August, because I placed my order July 31st, but I didn't start my business until mid-August. So from mid-August until November, I got my first 4. And then December and January got really quiet. And in January, my husband and I had sat down together, and I'm like, okay, I want to quit this job that I hate. What do we have to do? And I did the math, and I had to pay off $12,000 worth of debt before Jackson got here in May. He was due in May. So I'm like, okay, it's go time on sales. Like, and I hit the ground running, not doing any in-home, mind you. I was just doing online. I was doing the 1 online a week. Sometimes I would do a private one on the weekend, but I was so stressed from working 40 hours a week and trying so hard to get the 100 item a weeks that I needed, not only to cruise qualify, but to pay off that debt. So I kind of shared with my group my why at that point, and it was to come home when Jackson was born and not go back to that job that I hated with a passion. And I got a couple people that messaged me. Every time I share my why, and every time I share it, I think it changes a little bit, but every time I share it or share something that, has happened financially because of LuLaRoe, whether it was paying for our son's birthday parties in cash or paying for Christmas in cash, every time I share something little like that, I get someone that messages me and says, okay, I want to know about this business. Doesn't mean that person's going to join your team, but every time I share, I at least get interest. So I think that's one good thing with your online customers, to build that relationship with them, open and honest and real. And if you do a live, I used to just type it out, but now I try to do a live video because I feel like they get to know me a little bit better if I do live. Even if you are ugly crying in your live video, sharing your why or sharing your story, that is going to touch somebody, and they're going to want to know how they can do what you do. Now, are they going to be able to financially do it right off the bat? Maybe not, but you can tell them, financial options, loans, credit cards, sell stuff in your house, just sell stuff. I have one girl that's in the queue right now. She was like, I think I'm going to need to sell some stuff to buy some racks. I'm like, do it. I'll help you. Like, whatever. But just be honest and be open and be real. And when I had Jackson in April, I knew that when I had him, I was not going back. I had paid off enough of the debt. I had paid off $10,000 at that point. I knew I wasn't going back. $2,000 was not going to stop me. I was party and labor, people. I knew that $2,000 had to come from somewhere, and I was paying off the rest of that debt, and I was not going back to that job. And I shared that with my group, and my team exploded. And it was like, so that was April. I probably shared that in May. So I got a lot of my girls in the queue in May. I was trainer by July. And so I went from 4 to 10 like that. And I didn't have 10 directs when I hit trainer. So Holly had added a couple people to her team, and Rebecca had added one to her team. So that had nothing to do with my story, why they joined their team. But I still had, even when I hit trainer, I still had I think 5 directs in the queue. And 2 of the girls on my team, they're a twin sister duo, they messaged me and they said, okay, we heard your story. We want to make it happen for us. One of the girls, her husband works 60, 70 hours a week so that she can be a stay-at-home mom. And she was like, I don't want him to do that anymore. He's missing everything. And, the other one is, I think she's engaged. I don't want to think she's engaged. If not, she's, in a committed relationship. And she was like, I don't want to go, start a family in debt. I want to be out of debt. I want to be out of student loan debt. I want I want that freedom. And so I think when you share, even if it's something little, like, don't be afraid to celebrate the little victories with your customers. Like, just say, oh, I paid off a $200 bill, or we got to go out to dinner tonight and I didn't have to worry about, could we afford appetizers and dessert? Or share the tiniest things and just, show your excitement with your team, because even in the beginning, like, you're in a ton of debt when you start this company, unless you had savings or whatever. Either way, you've taken a big chunk of money and you've put towards this company and you've put towards this business, but you are making returns, even if it's not, on your bookkeeping sheet showing that you're in the positive. Like, if you can go out and you can buy your kid a new winter coat, post it. Or if you can go out to dinner and LuLaRoe is paying for your dinner, post it. Those little tiny things are going to connect your customers to you and to the business, and they're going to make them excited. And that is the only way, other than Holly that just came straight to me, that is the only way I have ever recruited, is by sharing my story. Every once in a while, like when Deanne used to do the opportunity calls, I would share it, but I never once got a message when I would post that post. I only got messages when I was open and raw and real with my girls. Like, Regina just gave me a thumbs up. She was the same way. Like,
oh, she can't unmute. Hold on here. There we go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay. Because I wanted to do something with my daughter, and just so we could spend time together and something fun. And I absolutely love, I'm an older lady, and I love LuLaRoe clothing. It just makes me feel good and gives me energy. I don't see why, older women cannot wear this too. And it's just really fun, really fun. And so and I just love Bethany right from the start. Of course, maybe it was Grayson that won me over, but but we had a rough start, but we're getting there. Yeah, and you haven't given up on us, so it's just.
I'm not going up.
But that's a good thing for you to share too, Regina, to share on your page, and I'm sure maybe you've already done that, but that is a good thing for you to tell your customers, because they'll relate to that. They'll think that's neat.
Yeah, I didn't, but yeah, I will.
Well, you can now. You can.
Okay, I will. But yeah, I truly am enjoying it. And being retired, I needed something to do anyway, so.
It's fun.
Yes, I like fun.
That's good. Okay, so I want to make sure that we're done by 9:30. So, more questions, anyone?
No. But thank you.
Good. Let's see. Okay. Anybody else?
Anything? I feel
this has been awesome. I'm so thankful that you were able to do this for us. It is recorded, so let your people know. If you have a team, let your team know. I'm sure other questions will come up, but thank you so much, Bethany. We appreciate this, and I took a lot of notes. I have like 3 pages of notes.
Yeah. And anyone on your team, like, they're welcome to message me.
Awesome.
I would tell you right now, I never sleep. I don't sleep. It just doesn't happen. So even if you're on the West Coast and you message me at like 4 a.m. my time, I'm probably going to answer. And don't feel like you woke me up, because you didn't. I don't sleep. So I'm trying to do like the whole airplane mode thing on my phone, and
that's good.
I can't do it. I'm afraid I'm going to miss something.
I know. I get it.
So yeah. So anyone can message me, and like, don't think that you're bugging me to message me.
Awesome. Well, okay. I think that is it. We can wave to Regina. Thank you guys. I appreciate you all being on, and have a great rest of your night.
Yeah, you too.
Bye-bye.